Hello and thank you so much for joining us for this program. The program on air is Women Talk, Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. My name is Rida Chebet Kering and I'm joined by Irene Mumbo Bushebi, who is a counselor and she's also a Bible trainer. And you can follow this conversation on Facebook, Maisha Television Kenya, also on YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Maisha TVKE. And if you have any comment, any question, you can send in your text on 0746 999 841. Karibu sana, Irene.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I've just not mentioned our today's topic. Our main topic today is women hygiene. Remember that this is Women Talk, and we discuss issues that touches women sana sana. Ukiangalia maneno usafi, huo wanasema wanawake wanafaa kuwa safi. Sijui mbona wa insist kwa wanaume sana.
Yeah, women need to be clean. That's just out there.
Yeah. Tangu zile enzi. Yeah, sure. Well, and I'll just start by asking you maybe to define what is hygiene.
Hygiene basically I would say is it's a state whereby one decides to keep himself or herself and the environment unto which he or she is clean, to avoid being infected with diseases. Because obviously if you're staying in a very unconducive environment, most probably you'll be attracting the unwanted germs, and most probably you'll be having to deal with the consequences of the same. So it's a state whereby somebody decides to be in a place that is conducive, that is in terms of cleanliness. So this person has to be in an environment that is clean, and himself or herself also has to be clean. Yeah.
Yeah, and how important is hygiene, especially to women, because we understand that in most cases they usually say that women are supposed to be clean kila wakati.
Yeah, that one is, first of all, looking into how women are. Basically, they need to be clean. Because I think there was a discussion we were having here, and we were saying that women are like, you know, that good thing that you would want to look into. And whenever you get into a good environment or a serene environment, that is to say, you'd always want that place to be clean. I don't think you can say that place is good if it's not clean. So also to women, you can't look at a woman and then say this woman is looking good or looking neat if she's not clean. So basically cleanliness, and when we're talking about cleanliness, I don't think we are just talking about maybe the way you appear, but the way you, I can look at you and say you're healthy as well. Because, you know, when somebody looks at you and you're so emaciated, it means you're not healthy. Yeah. And if you're not healthy, then there's something that is eating you up. And so that means even from the inside out, we can say that there's something that is wrong. And that thing that is wrong must probably be something that is unclean unto you. So that is why we are saying women need to be clean, because they are always, I would say, I don't want to use that term, but I would say they are put there as things for aesthetic value. You know, when they're there, they just look good. Whenever you'll go to a place and then find so many men there, you know, there's not so much to look into, because maybe you'll find they're just in long trousers and shirts and maybe a tie, a bow tie, you know. But looking into a place where we have so many women, you'll have so much to look into, because, you know, this one is dressed like this, the hair, you know, the makeup, so many things to look to. But, you know, so that's why we are saying they need to be clean. That is to even give the outer picture. Whenever you look at them like, you know, this is a woman, then you start seeing things that are good. So they relate always to something good. And so if there's something good, then they need to be clean. And now talking about that also in terms of family, we know a woman is the one who takes care of everything, basically in the home, in the family. And so if she's clean, and as I was saying, cleanliness starts from the inside also. So if she's clean even in the inside, then I believe everything in the surrounding will be clean. Yeah, let me not delve so much.
Well, na ningependa sasa kuingia ndani zaidi, especially you've just highlighted the cleanliness, maybe on the nje, ujongelea ndani, you have the spiritual aspect. Can you say that maybe it's related? Ukiwa msafi ndani, pia obviously pia nje utakuwa msafi.
Yeah, basically that is true, because why I'm saying it's true is because if the inside is clean, it means whatever forms you, your content is clean. And if your content is clean, it means whatever comes out of you is also clean. You know, we've always seen if it's a river running down the slopes, if it's clean from the source, you know. So hata kama mtu ataichafua along the line, itafika mahali because it's getting from a cleaner source. So that is what I'm talking about in terms of a woman. If she's clean in the inside, then automatically the outside will be clean. You know, I'm talking about clean in terms of the mind, the heart, you know. And so this means whatever she's going to talk about, whatever utterances you'll be getting from her are clean. And so when I'm talking about clean, is somebody who is really trying to avoid an environment that is not causing any consequences that we did say are diseases. You know, even words we say sometimes can be diseases to people, because what you're going to speak can hurt somebody and automatically that person is going to be sick, you see. So that is what I'm saying. So if we have a woman who is clean even from the inside, it means everything that she's going to talk about is or are things that are going to be healthy even to the person listening to them. So if the inside of this woman is okay, is clean, then it means this woman is basically clean in terms of what she's going to say, what she's thinking, you know, her preparation of everything. Even if she cooks for you, you feel the food is clean. You know, the food sometimes does not just look clean, but feels clean. Yeah. Yeah,
and does this hygiene, let's start with the physical part, play any role in keeping the marriage intact? Because in many cases, nimekutana labda watu kama wawili watatu, anasema that, mimi siwezi kaa na huyu mwanamke sababu ni mchafu. Let's start with the physical part, then go to the spiritual part.
Mtu akisema hawezi kaa naye kwa sababu ni mchafi, amesema ukweli. Because, you know, as I did mention, you know, a woman makes the home. And so if this home is not clean, you get to this area, you try going here, it's all smelly and all that stuff. You touch the surfaces, they're all dusty. You know, it doesn't really make somebody feel like just being there. You know, you feel like, no, I cannot be there. And when you talk of a woman who is not clean, I think maybe you've never seen, I've seen. You know, it's where everything is all over, and all these things that are all over are not put in some neat position. So it means you don't see any order anywhere. So, and that basically would really affect a marriage. Because men, as we know them, you know, they might not be as neat as you'd want them to be, but they would want to be in an environment that is cool, that is serene, that is, you know, feeling good, feeling fresh. And if he is forced to stay in an environment that is not all that, then he is not comfortable there. And, you know, as we start from the outside, if you see somebody not neat in the outside, then it means everything, even up to the other end, is not neat. So that is why you see that marriages, sometimes we can be looking into issues that we think are the problem to this marriage. They are not the problem. The problem is lying somewhere else. Maybe, as we are saying, the woman is not clean. And if she's not clean, it means her family is not healthy. Because we did say, the reason why we want to put an environment that is clean is because we want to ultimately get to a healthy environment that is healthy us. So if this woman is not clean, then it means her marriage also is not going to be clean. You say that, just touch on the physical first. So the physical in terms of the dishes are not always washed on time, you know, the children, the clothes, and even if they have been, they've been taken to the laundry, once they are from there, they are dumped somewhere until, the moment you want to get one to put on, you know, it is, you know, so all that put together, you know, does not make a very serene environment. And that is why if there is a man who is in that marriage, then that man is doomed, because mostly sometimes he would be going to other places and seeing what women can do. Because if a woman is not clean, she's not clean. But if a woman is clean, she's clean. And so if a man sees the difference, then he'd really feel that he's really staying in the jungle. And if that is the case, then automatically that marriage, because I know if that is the case with the woman, then you find that this woman is also somebody who is not in a position to be corrected. As we did say, this one makes everything healthy about this woman. So it means she's also this kind of woman who is not ready to be corrected on anything. And that is why she's in the state she is. Because anybody who is ready to learn, meaning that is somebody who is healthy in the inside, it means that is somebody who can easily learn and, you know, correct situations the way they are. And if you find that a woman is in that position, then it means she is not ready to learn, she's not ready to be corrected. And it means even if the husband would want to correct her, she's not ready. You see, and if she's told to do something otherwise, she'll always complain and say, okay, so umeona wengine huko, that's why, you know. So those issues will always crop up, and the moment they crop up, you know what will result into that. So there'll be the push and pull every other time, and the man maybe might decide to keep quiet. And in keeping quiet, there's something he'll be doing in the background, you know. And so that is why we are saying cleanliness is very important to a woman, because it will make her put together her marriage. And if not, then it means that marriage will start having cracks, and those small cracks, you know, they'll end up breaking this marriage. And I was talking to some people at some point, and I was telling them that, you know, sometimes when we get to find a marriage that has just been apart, you find that it started somewhere where maybe there's something that could not be said, but now these are the things that we are citing, you know, they're just surrounding the other thing that was not talked about, you see. So hata hiyo uchafu ujue, up to the point where we'll find that it becomes an issue, there is something that is resulting from the inside that cannot be spoken out, that has resulted into us now, even now, citing the physical one. You see, so these are, let me just call them for today, minor consequences, yes, of the real thing that breaks up the marriage, but most probably it will come up. So the cleanliness is also part of it. The minor things I'm talking about, okay, I'm just calling them minor for today, but know that they're also major in their own way. So these are things that would come up, and you'll find that if this woman is not clean, then it means things will not add up in this home. Because as I did say, she's not somebody who is ready to be corrected. She doesn't want to be shown something else. If she sees somebody who has done something good, then she has something to say about the thing, and not learning out of it, you know. And so that means that person is not healthy. So that woman is not healthy. She's sick. Yeah, basically she's sick. So in the physical, if you see these things are not right, then it means even that marriage is not going to work out well. Yeah.
And some women may be blamed. They say that, you know, it's because I don't have money. Kwa nani ni safi sababu ako na pesa, ameweza kuweka nyumba yake tiles. Can you say that maybe money is also a contributing factor yenye inafanya mwanamke mwingine akuwe msafi than mwingine?
I've seen our mothers so clean, not with tiles. I don't know. My mother, she died long time ago anyway. She was this very neat lady, I would say. I saw her when I was still very young. But always her spreaders, you know those things they used to put kwa viti?
Yeah.
They were always white. Na bado ziko mpaka saizi. There were those things that were bought long time ago. Lakini bado ziko mpaka saizi. We could not keep them in that state after she died, you know. But they were sparkling white every other time. As children, we grew up knowing that never will you be found sitting on that chair if you're not as clean as they are. You see? And I remember that time when she was insisting on this was when we went shags, ushago, that is. When we were in the city, maybe it was a little bit different. But when we went shags, literally, haungekaa kwa hiyo kiti. Kama umejua wewe ni mchafu. So basically, ulikuwa ukifika hapo karibu ukae, you check yourself. Are you okay to sit there? If not, then... So that is why I'm saying, if this person has decided to be clean, she is healthy, and she'll spread this healthy thing in the environment as well. So don't talk about money in terms of being clean. I've said this is something that starts from your inside. So if your inside is clean, you look for ways unto which you're going to be clean. Not necessarily because you have money. Because I don't think money comes before what is inside you. So that money will only add to what is there. You know, it will make it maybe better if you feel. But to me, I believe that if you make yourself healthy in the inside, the outside will automatically fall in place because you know what to do. Hawa mama wenye wana tandaza huku chini, they're smearing their floor. Na unapata amechukua, I don't know, it's called what? Something, aloe vera. That aloe vera leaf, they use it to make decorations kwa floors out. You see, that house remains neat. Hata kama unaweza sikia harufu ya samadi, because the samadi is what they use. That is the cow dung, something like that. That is what they use to do their floor. But imagine it is that neat. So, do you need money? Do you really need money to go and get aloe vera and, you know, cow dung and do your floor? No, you don't need money. So that person who has tiles atakuwa msafi. Na hata wewe mwenye unatengeneza floor yako, you will be neater than even her. So when you will have the time to get into the tiles, you'll do your best still.
Yeah, nadhani wale ambao wanakuanga na hiyo excuse, unajua nyumba yangu ni ya mchanga chini, haina tiles, sina carpet. That's not an excuse. You can still be clean without that carpet, without even that tiles. As long as kuna maji, kuna access to that cow dung. Nasema wanatumia kusmia. There's also something new that I've learned. Aloe vera,
yeah, they use it to make a lot of decorations. They are very nice patterns. Yeah.
Yeah, and still related to that, some women usually claim that I think I also asked you the same question. Wanasema ni watoto. Unajua ni mtoto. Sasa hata nikitandika hizo spreaders ni unasema mtoto anakuja kuchafua juu ni mdogo, atakuja anywe uji amwagie hapo juu. What can you say about that? Because najua pia una mtoto mdogo.
Yeah, these things will not fail to come. They'll be there. Lakini pengine mtu aingie tu kama ndio mtoto amemwaga uji kwa kiti. But if not, alimwaga saa ngapi? What is the time span between ile time alimwaga na time mgeni aliingia? You know, there's a difference. Kama nilikuwa nimekaa hapo na nikaona mtoto anamwaga ilimwagika, I saw it. But if I was not there, I found this thing imeshatengeneza hiyo map ya Africa hapo. When? So it means, as I was saying, you have to be healthy in the inside so that you can ambukiza everything, the health. So that means mtoto akimwaga pale uji, you can take that thing, uende uioshe. Mtoto akiangusha, and also again in that, because they have to do this so that you also train them. I've just told you about us. Yeah, we were just 2 of us girls, but she made sure. And that was something that was known. So in doing that, watoto lazima watafanya hivyo, lakini sasa wewe jukumu lako kama mama ni kwamba katika njia hiyo utakuwa unawafundisha pia wao, so that atajua pia yeye atakuwa na mtoto siku nyingine. Mtoto akipanda pale juu, yes, kunaweza kuwa na ile time pengine ulikuwa unafanya kitu fulani. When you come, please, can you do the necessary? Not just that mimi niko na watoto, sasa watoto wao wanapanda juu ya spreaders. That is not a very good excuse. I know it's an excuse. It will happen. I'm not saying it cannot happen. We are still staying in this world, yeah, where we have children and everything. Hata pengine una kuku. Wanatoka huko, sorry. They come, they do their thing there. So you just pick it, go and wash it, and itakauka utarudisha. Because you know what you need to do. So these things, usiwe tu na excuses kwamba hata siweki hizo spreaders ama sijui fanya nini, you know. And somebody was telling us, you know, like hizo nyumba nasema pengine hizo za kutengeneza, pengine hata hizo nyumba zinakuwa pengine hata hakuna dirisha, unajua. So there was this lady who also taught me something, that those spreaders are very important, especially in such houses. They make the house bright. Because most of the time you'll find those spreaders bright. So if you put there, they make that house bright. You see. So for women, please, don't be giving yourself a lot of excuses. You can do something. Now hao watoto utawatrain ili kwamba wao pia watrain wengine. But if you're just going to say siziweki ama nikiweka huwa wana, and you then just leave them there, wanamwaga, wanafanya mpaka hizo vitambuki kizitoa unaenda kuzichoma, because hata wewe mwenyewe ukifikiria kuzirudisha haziwezekani. You're seeing that. So you can still work with what you have and work with it well, as long as you know how to keep your hygiene right.
Yeah, you just mentioned something that ukitaka labda tuseme hao wenye tayari tuseme ni wachafu, let me use that word, ndio inakaa rude, ni wachafu, hawakufunzwa na mama zao wakiwa mbeleni, ama shida inakuwa.
Kuna wengine hata walifundishwa. By the way, you find that those people ambao pengine waliishi kwa very strict rules, vile ninasema, waliamua tu, and then they decided to just be lazy. Wanasema sisi maadhi alituharakisha sana. Tutaki kuharakishana. So you find that there are people who maybe even their parents taught them what to do, but they've just decided, because you know all these things are also about decisions. You know, because I'm saying, you know, we are talking about hygiene, which means you've decided to make your environment and you healthy. So that is a decision. So if you decide otherwise, it doesn't necessarily mean that maybe your parent did not teach you. Yeah, it means you've decided. But otherwise also it might be that your parent did not teach you. And there are also those people who grew up in very untidy environments, but they decided otherwise. And so where they live today, ukienda, ukikompare kama ushawahi ona mama yake nyumbani sema haya na huyu. So that was just a special case. This person decided to do things otherwise. Are you seeing? So it is also about a decision. And that's why we are saying it is about yourself being hygienically clean. You know, and when I'm talking about yourself, it means you have renewed your mind to a point that I can do this thing better than any other person who has ever done it.
Well, and I'd like us now to shift now to the bedroom part, because you understand that that is the main I can say, the backbone of the marriage.
Yes.
How can you say that maybe hygiene and cleanliness affect the bedroom life?
Basically, we know that women, they need a lot of hygiene. I'm talking about now physically, you know. A woman, kama ni kuoga, mwenzangu, oga vizuri. Somebody was saying, you know, women have like 13 parts to clean every other time they get to the bathroom. I can't example them here. But you know, you have to do that. So if you're not going to do that, basically, you are not going to be clean. So, and if unanuka, ukiingia kwa hiyo bedroom, na pengine ka bedroom ni kadogo. All your roof is in the bedroom. Who wants to be there? And you know, you have to be there, the two of you. If you are there alone, shauri yako, you get used to it. But if you are the two of you now, you know, basically that will mean something is just not adding up. And so when I'm talking about this, I'm also talking about where we are having our time, that is where we sleep and all that stuff, that is the bedding. Kuna wamama waliweka bedsheet January. Tumefika December. Hapa sasa. Huku ndio penye kunaoshwa kila kitu. Because it's Christmas. No. For a woman, that is a big no. It doesn't work like that. So make sure you change your bedding every other time. There was a lady, she advises women, she was saying, your pillowcase should be cleaned every other day.
Kila siku unafaa pillowcase.
Yes, fresh. Yeah. Yeah. It's fresh, yeah. So what we're saying is that environment needs to be clean. Kwa sababu, if you look into it, wale the women who wanachukuanga waume zetu, that's what we say, wanachukua. Do you know how they chukua them? Even it is even described in the Bible what they do. And basically the Bible brings it out clearly. You read Proverbs. Proverbs will tell you that. Kwamba wana make sure their bedding is smelling good. Yeah? It means wako na zile scented candles in their bedroom. You know, they have everything feeling and looking and smelling fresh. Na sasa wewe. Let me not complete that sentence. So if you go there and really know what they do, then you can do the same. I'm not saying do the same in terms of attracting other people's men. I'm talking about your man. So if he has to be in that environment, then make sure that that environment is very clean. So the everything that is in that room should look neat. Hata kupanga vitu huko ndani. Hapana kuja tu na kila kitu. And you know that is also the place where women saa zingine wanakaa na hao watoto. Kwa hivyo mtoto alifanya kila kitu imewekwa kwa kona fulani hapo. So the smell that is getting out of that place. So anybody getting in there will get out. Because that is the response. If there is anything that is not smelling good, can I go away? It freshes up. Na umejua haita freshen up, maana hiyo kitu iko hapo.
Yeah.
So in case there is anything dirty in that other room, make sure it is put out, iende itengenezwe. Usidump hapo. Maybe it is in the night, yes, somebody would understand. But hata usiku, I'm advising ladies, please. Hata kama ni usiku, utembea hata kama umefunga macho, you know your house. Take it where it's supposed to be. You know? Yeah. And then come back. So that this room, because most of the bedrooms, sometimes you find they are small. But those people who understand, vile unasema wenye wako na tiles, wametengeneza bedrooms kubwa, so it's a big place. But otherwise, if you are blessed with that small one, make sure that that place is clean. And so necessarily that person who is supposed to get there, that is your husband, should find that place very neat, very clean, very serene. Akikaa pale anaweza sikia kutulia. Lakini kama hapo pamejaa inzi wako, umbu wako, hai. No.
Kama dump site.
Yes.
Well, anyway, as we finish the first part, you are a mother, you also a working mother, I can say. What can you tell women out there when you are not excuse that yuko busy, another job, haizi akafanya usafi nyumbani, yuko na watoto pia wanachafua nyumba, so hata akitengeneza itachafuka. What can you tell them maybe?
Uko busy, unaenda kazi.
Kirudi umechoka.
Na hiyo kuchoka yote. I did say something here that, you know, doing all these things, especially for a woman, is not the physical. It is the spiritual. So make sure that the spiritual surpasses the physical in terms of even when you're tired and there's something that you know must be done. Because najua hata kule kazini kwako penye unasema umetoka umechoka. Umechoka because you've made sure that everything that you wanted to do at that place of work was done. Why? Because you know your boss will not allow you to just be there saying that umechoka and you didn't do it. So if you can do that at your place of work, what about your home? So that is to say, even if you're from there and you're tired, I did say here, kama umerudi nyumbani kila mtu lazima ajue mami amerudi, because you can do something that is different from what every other person was doing in this house. So hata kama umechoka, there are those things that must be done, they must be done. I know you are tired, you're telling me you're tired, but if you're used to doing this thing, kuna siku ile utasikia kweli umechoka kabisa, you are really worn out, you can't relax. But there are those days that even if you're worn out, kwa sababu unajua jana hukufanya, leo lazima ifanyike. Are you seeing? So it's just like at your place of work. I know there are things that you can't just leave the office before you make them in their, put them in their place. So if you can do that at your place of work, because you know your boss will not be right with you, then even at your home, because your husband will not be right, and not even your husband alone, you are God. Yes.
They say cleanliness is next to God.
Yeah, that's what they say. So please, if that is the case, then make sure that you do everything right. So you just mentioned another thing, watoto wataharibu, nadhani tumetackle hiyo. Hata kama wanaharibu tu na unajaribu kurudisha. Najua unaweza kuwa na watoto 4 5, pengine unasema ni wengi wanakusumbua. Mama huwa ni mama, that is why you are called mama. Na ikumbuka tulisema hapa we ni msaidizi. Kwa hivyo msaidizi, we unaweza pata mfanyikazi wako amesema nimefanya kazi the whole day, I'm just seated here mama, I'm tired. Will it be right? So make sure you know that at the back of your mind, wewe ndio mkubwa wa wafanyikazi hapo kwako. So kuna vitu tu lazima utafanya. Are you seeing that? So even if the kids will do this, try to make sure that you put them back to their rightful places.
Na wale wenye maybe wana blame because wengi husema that umaskini iko associated na mchafu. Watu wenye wako na pesa ndio wanaweza manage kufanya nyumba zao zikuwe safi. You ulikuwa mention, but tukimalizia to this the first part, because in the second part nataka turuke into spiritual aspect.
Yeah, umaskini ndio tunaweza sema hivyo kwa sababu kuna vitu zingine you might not get them as somebody who is poor, that is in terms of you cannot afford them.
Yeah.
But I believe if you cannot afford them, there are always things that look like or are in line with those things that other people who are having money can afford. You see, just like I've said, if you're talking about tiles, I have my decorated things we're using there, you know, aloe vera leaves. And if it is the scented, what do we say, scented candles, kuna vitu zingine huwa zinanu kama hata ubani, inaitwa nini? There's something they put there, it smells good, you burn, you light it and then it brings some, ni shilingi 5 10 I think you can afford to get them. So that if that is what you're feeling, that you can put it there so that it makes that room smell good. And I know pale even shago kuna tule tumaua tunanukianga vizuri, you can just decide and put them in a vase somewhere or kwa chupa, watatoa hiyo harufu mzuri. You know, we are talking about, you know, adding up even if you don't have enough. And I've just said this, si lazima uwe na pesa kufanya vitu zingine. You just need, if you need to be clean, you need water around you, you know, you need soap, kama hata si soap ya pesa mingi, tuko na soap wao wanakata hata kutokea 10 bob, you know, these things, so that you make sure you can, unaweza osha vitu hapa, vitu kama, you know, even under our chairs, unapata mtu amewacha cobwebs walishika mpaka wakatengeneza pia decoration yao huko ndani. You don't need money to do that. You only need your broom to go down there and remove those things, you see. So it's not basically that if you're poor, you can't do this. I've just said it is within you. Kama hujabadilisha mawazo yako and start thinking that I can do this because I'm feeling like it is able, I'm able to do it, then you won't do it. But if you've just renewed your mind and said that I can do it, then you'll be in a position to do it. It doesn't necessarily go with money.
Well, asante sana, and thank you so much for that. I hope that our viewers, wale ambao wamekuwa na excuse, unapata that nyumba inakaa vile inakaa mtu yako lakini hakosi excuse, you know, I don't have money, you know, I have children. I think that Irene has just put it very clear. Si pesa peke yake ina matter, it's just something within you that itafanya hiyo nyumba iweze kuwa safi. And we are going for a short commercial break, and I will be coming back on the second part, and we will be focusing on the spiritual aspect of being clean. Stay tuned.
Navaholo Technical and Vocational College in Navaholo Sub-County of Kakamega County is a center of excellence in building and civil engineering. The college management is happy to announce that January 2022 intake is ongoing for holders of both KCPE and KCSE for artisan, certificate and diploma courses in building technology, civil engineering, land survey, plumbing, carpentry and joinery, welding and fabrication, water engineering, ICT, resource management, social work, supply and chain management, general agriculture and many more. We are registered by the Ministry of Education as a TVET institution and an examination center for NEC and CASNEB examinations that boasts of coveted learning activities, facilities sitting on a 5.5-acre land purchased by NGCDF Navaholo constituency at par with national standard.
I am the principal of Navaholo Technical and Vocational College, situated in Navaholo constituency. We opened the doors for the students in January 2020. We have 4 departments which we offer. It is in fact a center of excellence in the building and civil engineering. So we have a building and civil engineering department, we have ICT department, we have new departments which are now becoming business department and agriculture department. So we have courses in such. We are welcoming students from all over Kenya, especially around the institution, as we said, is in Navaholo.
Navaholo Technical and Vocational College is located 1 kilometer from Navaholo Division Headquarters near Chebeyusi Secondary School and 400 meters off Kakamega Nambacha Bungoma Road. We admit all government and private sponsored students under Kenya Universities and Colleges Placement Service. Welcome to Navaholo Technical and Vocational College. We value quality education and offer superb training to students at affordable school fees. The government will pay 30,000 shillings as bursary. In addition, Higher Education Loans Board gives 40,000 shillings for school fees and pocket money, which is available, thus the training is nearly free. Call us now 0721 58 9977. That is 0721 58 9977. Email us at navaholotvc@gmail.com. Intake is now going on with applications. Navaholo Technical and Vocational College, Center of Excellence in Building and Civil Engineering.
Nyinyi mko na noti ya 10k moja na it can only buy a chicken.
Kuna wale ambao wameiba mali ya umma,
wale watu wa seminar na retreat.
NASA died. I'm a man of God. I prophesy NASA is dead. Tena iko shetani fulani anatuambia turudi nyuma tena kwa hiyo ndoa. Mimi ningependa tafadhali utuombee leo ile ndoa ya NASA. Tafadhali apostle utuombee party leader wetu wasirudi huko.
Because ukiangalia time ya budget,
No, it's the poorest county.
Wale ambao wanajiweka mbele kwamba ni mafarasi ndio watu ambao watatupotosha katika hii nchi ya Kenya. Wao wanataka watutumie kama vibarakala, tuwapatie uongozi, hakuna manufaa tutapata kwao.
And now you have, let's say, 20 million who will leave back. How do you bank that money again?
I'm telling you, the culture of selling stuff in Western Kenya, any asset must be sold, any liability must be sold. Have you seen for the past 2 years what this man has been going through? Every time he has to come out and explain things, and the people who are putting him in these problems, Western Kenya needs a think tank.
Hizo ndo farasi mbili tunatarajia, lakini hao wengine tumechoka nao. Maana mtu kama baba hauwezi poa unapewa penalty kila wakati au ufungi bao na bado timu inakupatia penalty. Sisi tumempigia ya kutosha.
Tayari kusimama na Msalia liwe liwalo, Kama vile baba aliposimama na watu wake wa Kisumu, akasema hata akisema ati ende uanguke kwa kisima, anaanguka kwa kisima ati juu baba amesema. So mimi pia niko ready kusimama na Musalia Mudavadi.
Sasa wanamsumbua rais, badala ya rais kufanyia kazi wa Kenya. Sasa rais amekuwa ati anashughulikia watu watano hapo kujaribu kuwapanga na tamaa yao.
Thursday, there is politics, leadership, and governance. And we ain't gonna leave you out of our conversation. You can text or call in 0746 999 841. Women Talk. My name is Rida Tibet Karing, and in studio I'm still with Irene Mumbo Bushebi. And you can follow this program on YouTube and Facebook, Maisha Television Kenya. Also Instagram, Maisha TVKE, and Twitter at Maisha TVKE. You can keep your comments coming on 0746 999 841. And to kick off on our second part, we received a message from our viewer, and it's a very interesting topic, question, because it's related to a topic that we talked about earlier concerning sex life. And she says that on my case, my husband does not satisfy me. We talked about it, but he always gets mad whenever I say so. Help me, please.
Yeah, so it's really an interesting one, yeah. So I think as we are talking about hygiene and health here, it will be very important for us to also handle this in the same direction. I know that lack of satisfaction in sex might be sometimes because of what we are taking in terms of we really need to be taking in the right food so that it can help us to really have the right, what do we say, processes of doing everything. So maybe the husband is suffering from a certain illness that she might not know simply because of what she's preparing for him. So she can check on her diet as well. You really need to get those, or the kind of food that is healthy for him to take in, that will help in the sex life. That is to say, you need to have some nutrients that are healthy. I think this is something that maybe we cannot talk if it is not for the same topic, but if we can talk to her later on also as well, that she can produce or she can be availing food that is good for the husband to be taking, and she can start getting some improvement in the same, because you know men don't like it when you tell them that they are not up to the standard, you know. So that is why every time they talk about it, there's a lot of the problem. So the only thing she needs to do is to start working into other things that might be contributing to the problem, rather than just facing him with the same, you know, problem, because she will, I mean, he will not be right with her talking to him about the same, because he's feeling like he's not doing what he needs to do better. Yeah, so that is why they are always having the push and pull whenever they talk about this. So she needs to know what she needs to give in terms of food, and also other things about still the health that we're talking about. How do you talk to him? You know, as I was saying, if you're healthy in the inside, mostly you'll know how to talk to people, because whenever you talk to them, they'll find health from you rather than getting sick from what you're telling them. So maybe she, the way she's facing it, I'm not saying that is what she's doing, but if that is what she's doing, maybe she's facing it not in the right way. No, she's approaching it not in the right way, bringing not the right words, when the husband really needs to be encouraged so that he knows what to do. Because I know basically if that is what happens, then he'll be affected in his mind, and so he will not reason well. And when that happens, it means there's something that is also not adding up in terms of his health. And if that is what is happening, then automatically he'll still be affected in his sex life. So she really needs to approach it from different angles before maybe if the worst comes to the worst, that's when she needs to approach it from, you know, me talking to him directly. And with that also, you also need to pick your words. And if not, then you also need somebody to help you in this direction. I know these are some of the things that people don't talk about, but if you can be bold enough to bring them out to the right person, that is, who can help you, then it will be good, it will be solved. It's a problem that can be solved. Usikue haraka. When people face such problems, you find that somebody just gives up and say, me menishinda, I'm moving out of this marriage. And you know, people don't understand because it's something that you are also not free to discuss with them, you see. So you'll find that you're getting out of something that could have been corrected, and then you continue with your good marriage, you see. But because you feel, maybe I don't want to talk about this to other people, and because of that, I'm trying to face him with the same problem, he's not ready so that we can tackle the problem. I've just told you, men are not ready for that most of the time. But if you know which words to use, you can talk about it. Because it's always, at the end of the day, it's about the two of you. Yeah. Any other person coming in should just come in when there is real need. But otherwise, the two of you should be sorting out your problem. Itakuwa rahisi sana. But if you involve other people, and especially when there are cases that are termed as very secretive, you find that the other person really feels demoralized. And when they feel so, then it means everything will still fall back to the wrong place. But if they are encouraged in a way, you know, you can talk to people who can also be telling him if they're also having, maybe they were having the same problem, they faced the same problem, and then how they did go about it and how the solution came in, you know, you'll have a solution. So don't be in a hurry. Tackle this pole pole and you'll get to the rightful position.
Wow, and well, thank you so much. I think that our viewers gotten that advice, and if possible, maybe you will talk to her later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and let's now move to our second part. As I had promised earlier, we're going to talk about the spiritual aspect of women hygiene. And I'll just ask you, what is the spiritual implication of hygiene as it is used biblically?
I know the Bible talks about hygiene, but maybe in a hidden way, you might not really realize it very openly. It talks about this in Romans 12:1. It talks about, you know, your body being the temple of God, and you have to make it, you know, clean. Yeah, and it also it has to come out of a sacrifice. You have to be a sacrifice before the Lord yourself. And as we've just been saying, you know, some of these things, doing them, it means it's a sacrifice. Yeah. So if it has to be a sacrifice as it is, it means you'll have to work a little bit harder than you are thinking. So you have to sacrifice so that you can have the best hygiene that you need. We're just talking about the woman having the children around, they're running around, they're doing everything. You know, it is out of a sacrifice that you can be picking those things and bringing them back to their position every time they've run around and umewafukuza nje, umewarudisha. So it means it is out of a sacrifice. So the Bible is trying to take us into this direction, maybe in a different perspective, but still in the same line. So you have to know that hygiene is something that really needs your sacrifice. So you have to face it with a lot of sacrifice in terms of knowing that also God needs you to be clean. God needs you to be healthy. God needs that hygiene to be of the best standard so far. And so when we're talking about this from that aspect, it talks about you have to be holy. Holy means something clean. So when you're talking about holy, we are talking about your inside. You will have to work from the inside of you. So that with that sacrifice that I was talking about, because, you know, being holy is not something that you just walk one day and say, I'm holy. You know, holiness means you have to go through processes. And these processes, you know, you will only have to face them and be going through them if you put a lot of sacrifice in it. That is, you have to be diligent in whatever you're doing so that you can walk the path of holiness. And so once the holiness is there, once you've walked that path and you are somewhere where now we can term it as holy. I know people will always come back to this and say that the same Bible talks about hakuna mtu mtakatifu, hakuna hata mmoja. Then why was the Bible telling us the same? You know. So what the Bible is telling us is we can still walk the same path, but with sacrifice. You know. So it means you have to put a lot of sacrifice and then go the journey. So coming back to what hygiene is and what holiness is, I'm trying to say that these things that we're talking about in terms of hygiene, especially to the women, because we want to talk more about the women. The women, I know it is not a very easy thing. You've just talked about this woman who is a professional woman working somewhere, and, you know, she has to also face her every other thing in terms of her home being clean and all that stuff. So this is a woman who will really need to work beyond herself, you know, doing things that she might not have thought of doing them. You know, once we are professional, sometimes we think, you know, we do things pengine kutumia pesa. And that's why I've just said here, it's not about money. It's about you knowing what you want and then achieving it in terms of sacrificing so that you can achieve what you want. So basically, na kila mtu vile amejua katika dunia, you know, you can't just go something and do it without a sacrifice. But now the sacrifice I'm also talking about is a little bit deeper in terms of, you know, you just give up so many things. Hata wamama wakati mwingi you find you'll have to give up sleep. Hautakuwa tu mama wa kulala. You know, there are those women, akisha kula vile alikula, she starts sleeping from where she is seated. For a woman who really wants to be hygienically neat, no. That one I'm telling you. Yeah, I know you might disagree. Uko na wasichana wa kazi pengine wako watatu kwa nyumba wanne, that is not the thing. You know, because you know, even your children, they are looking unto you. As much as you have wale wafanyikazi. You want to tell me that your children should be looking at wafanyikazi vile wana scrub floor? They are not interested. They are seeing them as any other person in the house. But what they would want to see is you. What is it that you are doing as their mother? You know, and once they see that, that is what they will. Because I did say here, me as a mother or the father and the children, there is how we are attached. And so that attachment or that connection that we have is very spiritual also. And so this child just looking into another person and then saying that, you know, this is the person I'm going to follow after, sometimes it's not very easy. Unless Amesha learn to follow after from the parent. Basically the mother. We are told the mother is the teacher in the home. So that is what also the Bible says. The Bible I did mention here in Proverbs talks about, you know, the father being the one who brings the laws, and then the mother anafundishana hizi sheria kwa watoto. So what you're doing is what your children would want to do, even if they are men. Kuna wale wanaume walikuwa raised na mama zao na waka follow up on what their mothers are doing. Hata wakiwa kwao sasa unapatanga wamekunja longi mpaka huku. Amekuja kupanguza nyumba because he is feeling yeah. And so I'm also talking about this in terms of sacrifice, na nimekumbuka just as I'm mentioning men who also help in the house. As I did say, it's a sacrifice. Yeah? So if it is a sacrifice, it means those men can see that, you know, maybe my wife is not up to standard. And so he'll sacrifice, because it's not something that every other man would want to do. Just getting out one day and starting to scrub the floor. No, but out of a sacrifice, out of a holy heart. That is a heart that is has gone through that process of being holy. You'd know that I need to help this lady so that she can also learn from me. Because I believe if you're the one who is bringing the laws, it means you know how to work with the laws. So if you're the one who has brought the laws, then it means you know how to work with the laws. And so if you know how to work with those laws, it means you can teach the person who is behind you to know how to work with them. I'm talking about even those men who are ready to go to the kitchen with their wives and teach them how to cook, or teach them how to make the kitchen clean. Yeah, because otherwise you just leave it ni kazi ya mwanamke and you keep on kulalamika, hatutafika mahali. What will happen is you leave this house and go look for another one, and maybe by bad luck you'll also get another dirty one out there. So the same series now, you know, from here to another, from here to another, and we start counting. So that is not right because of just a single thing yenye ungefanya. You know, if it's something that is beyond you, we can understand. Lakini something yenye pengine mama yako alikufundisha ama uliona mama akifanya and you know how to do it. Your wife is not doing it right. Don't have that male ego and start saying that, you know what, this house I married for what? Yes, we know you married so that somebody can be scrubbing the floor. But if she doesn't know how to do it right, you can help. You see?
Or teach her.
Yeah, or teach her. And so that is how we are talking about this in terms of a sacrifice. Again, I have another scripture from the book of Deuteronomy 23:13. It's talking about now God, you know, issuing a directive to the children of Israel. He's saying, whenever you want to get out and go help yourself, you must go out with a shovel, something to scoop, you know, the soil, put it aside, help yourself and cover up. The reason why you read going down 14 is saying, because God always visits us in our homes. And when he comes, he would want to be in a clean place so that he can protect you from any evil that would come into your home. That is the scripture of the Bible, talking about the same. So this one brings us to a point where we really need to know that even physically God is concerned. Yeah? So if you're this kind of person, sasa imagine, hiyo ni God talking about your waist. So that is what anybody would not want to get around them. But if he's talking about the big one, it means even the small ones he wants you to put, because anajua hizo you can take care of them. Then people did not choose to have the toilets and all that stuff, but you know, Mungu bado aliwaonyesha njia. And again, they were not in a place where they could come up with those pit latrines and all that stuff. They were on the way moving. So God is telling them, however much you're moving, isiwe kwamba mnawacha hapa uchafu, mkitoka hapo tunasema wale watu walikuwa wamekampa hapa ndio waliwacha hii uchafu hapa. God is not interested in all that. God wants you to be clean people, even from the physical part of you. So it means you have to clean up, you have to cover up every other uchafu that is there, so that that place is clean. And the reason why is what interests me so much. God says that he visits us. And so when he comes, he would want to be in a clean place. And his reason for coming is to, you know, protect us from any evil that would come. So what does that mean? It means if we are clean, yeah, God is going to fight for us. So this still talks about the inside and the outside at the same time. That when God is making our home be his home, then it means no evil will come in. Sasa wewe fikiria ukiwa hapo nyumbani, nini chafu ambayo uko nayo? You know, here we are not just talking about the dishes, but those dishes must also be clean. But we are talking about even yourself. Are you clean? Are you that holy temple that we are talking about? So that God can come and dwell within you or your surrounding. Because God would want to be in a place that is clean. So this means, hata hii magonjwa mengine tunapata ni kwa sababu God was away. Yeah, because he thought, how am I going to come in? This place is not neat for me, so I'm not coming. And when it doesn't come, then it means diseases will come and make their abode here. Other things, hii uchafu ya kugombana kufanya nini inakuja kwa sababu haukuwa msafi. Kama ungekuwa msafi, ungejibu vizuri. Na ukishajibu vizuri, Mungu atakuja akae pale na kusaidia every other time unahitaji kujibu tena. I'm talking to women. Yeah, so every time you'd want to do something or you want to talk to your husband, you'd want to address any issue to your husband. God is looking unto you. Are you clean so that I can come and make my abode within you? Within your surrounding, so that whenever you want to utter something that is not right, I'm there to say, please don't talk about that. Nyamaza. That's God talking, and you'd even listen because you know He's there. Lakini kama ujue yuko, because
yuko tunarusha maneno.
Yeah, automatically. Umejua zile tulikuwa tunaingia kwa nyumba, umepata pengine your sister, your brother is there, and you know mother is not home. Hey, you're shouting, and then you realize the dear alikuwa amelala kwa bedroom. Everything comes to a standstill. You know that. So it's because you didn't know. But if you could have known, ungekuja pole pole. So that's what we are talking about. If you know that God would be around, and the only thing that would make you know that God would be around is the serenity of the place. You know, this clean place, obviously God will be here. And if God is here, then I have to address things knowing that God is with me. And so it means, hata kabla hujajibu mtu vibaya, kabla hujaongelesha mtu vibaya, you will start reasoning that you know what? God is listening. So I'm not just going to talk about anything. I'm going to talk about that right thing that God would want me to talk about. So that is the spiritual aspect of it in terms of, you know, being holy, you know, being in a clean environment. I'm talking about clean, the inside, the outside, and who you are. You know, when you're clean, you know who are supposed to be. You know, for example, vile ulikuwa nasema kuna watu wanasema kwamba poverty is related to uchafu. So it means those people who are in very dirty, have you ever been into a slum?
No.
Watoto wanapanga huko ukisikia kiongea, kuna shindwa ushike mdomo wake. Because they know who cares. In this place, all of us are like this. Lakini wale watoto wako kwa those places, you know, they talk with some sense. Because they know, hapa karibu kunaweza kuwa ambassador anaishi hapa. Are you seeing what I'm talking about? So that is what we are telling each one of us. When your mentality tells you that I'm in a place that we don't care, so you don't talk like we don't care, you'll always do that. But if you're in a place that you know, we really have to do things knowing what we are doing, then you'll be doing the right thing. So that is what spiritually also the Bible is talking about in terms of this. And also when you read other books like Leviticus from chapter 11, chapter 13, chapter 15, they're still addressing other issues about hygiene in terms of sicknesses and diseases. And most of the time, this was given to the priest to check out if these people who are suspected to be having leprosy, they were to go to, the priest had to come and assess what is the the condition of these people, and then he knows where to put them. And remember, when I'm talking about the priest, I'm talking about the priest of the home. Who is that? The husband. So you should be assessing these things. You are the one who is here to make that difference. So when I'm talking about this, I'm also talking about you knowing where to put what in terms of hygiene. And hygiene, the physical hygiene, the spiritual. Kwa hivyo you have to really work so hard to see that the spiritual hygiene is put right. So you have to make sure that your wife is in the right position. Na sasa kama wewe mwenyewe hujui how to be a priest. Now who is going to be the priest here?
And there's also a verse somewhere that talks about mwanamke mwema ni yule ambaye anaamka mapema, anafanya kazi zote. By the time watu wanaamka kwa familia, kila kitu kiko in order.
Yes.
What can you say about that?
Yeah, Proverbs 31. It really addresses that so well. And that's why I was saying that, you know, women being holy here. I was citing that Romans 12 from 1. It talks about being holy, and it talks about, you know, the sacrifice that you have to make. And so I was saying that women, we also have to even sacrifice about our sleep. Umejua, wewe si mama wa kulala tu. Vile ulianza kulala saa 3, utaamka tena saa 3. Not for a woman. Yeah. So what we are saying here is you have to wake up so early so that you tidy up everything. So that when people come up, hata wanashanga kwa nani alifanya hivi, you are there before everybody woke up. So you know that's a sacrifice, because otherwise wewe ndio uko unalala, si watoto waamke waende wafanye kazi zingine ama mfanyikazi. But imagine unamfanyikazi, but you can afford to still wake up that early because you know you are a who? You are a woman who needs to be hygienically upright. You see, so hygienically upright in terms of even your inside. You know, when once that, and that is what I was talking about. Once you know who you are in terms of being clean, hata ile usingizi we mwenyewe inaisha tu, kwa sababu inajua this is your time now to go and do 1, 2, 3 things before you go job. And when you come back again in the evening, it's also still that same sacrifice. You see, walikuwa nasema she goes far away to get the sheep full of, you know, vitu za kuuza, merchants za kuuza. You know, what we are saying is that this is a lady who is also very hardworking, but still she comes home na anaamka hiyo saa 10 usiku kufanya kazi yake. So it doesn't give you a room to be giving yourself excuses that, you know, nilitoka biashara nimechoka. Who told you? Huyo mwanamke wa Biblia alikuwa anaenda biashara, imagine, anaenda na meli na anarudisha vitu. Tena asubuhi mapema ameamuka kufanya kazi.
Nyumbani ubake kwenye order.
Yes. So it means it's something that is doable as long as you have the right mind. Your mind is also healthy. Hygienically your mind, you've cleaned it. Not looking into it in terms of kwa mimi namkanga tu asubuhi, huyu mtu naye anafanya nini hapa? No.
Yeah, and talking about that, can you see that maybe even sleep is also a contributing factor to untidiness in homes? Because uwezo kaniambia mtu ataamka 5 na ifike saa 1 kama hajafanya kitu yoyote kwa nyumba.
Atakuwa anafanya nini? Yeah, the Bible still talks about this in Proverbs. It talks about a little sleep, a little slumber, you know. It means ule mtu mwenye anapenda kulala. Usipende kulala. In fact, nasema vizuri sana, vijana msipende kulala. And I believe anybody still under 70 is kijana. So if you're kijana, it means you should not be sleeping. Yes, mpaka kufikisha 70 ndio tutaanza kuona unaanza kupoteza balance. But otherwise, before you are 70, it means you're supposed to be awake. Awake does not just mean you're not sleeping, but awake as in you are alert in everything. You're very sensitive in everything. Sasa tukiwachana hata na physical, hata in the spirit, you are awake, you are alert. You know, you are holy, you know what you need to do where. And as we've just said it, once that happens, everything falls in place in terms of God will be coming to take care of everything on your behalf. Because God sees also your determination to do this, your diligence in whatever you're doing. So wachana na mambo ya kulala ovyo. Yes, I know it's something that pushes us. I know also we are talking about you have to rest 8 hours, you have to. Yes, you have to rest. But when you don't need to rest, what are you going to do? Because you have to, you up your game in terms of these things must be done. 8 hours, yes, itakuja, kuna siku utapumzika.
Kuna holidays pia, kuna unaweza kuchukua siku moja.
Yes, you rest. You can sleep the whole day, nione kama utalala the whole day kama hujajiamsha hapo saa 6.
Yeah, now what are some of the benefits of this women hygiene?
I think we've tackled most of them in terms of, you know, your marriage will be okay because you're healthy. So it means this is a woman who knows how to talk to people. because hygienically kutokea ndani ni msafi. Unajua ukiwa msafi, the Bible talks about what is contained in you is what comes out. So it means ukiwa msafi hata ndani mwako, whenever anybody talks to you, you know, they'll get the right answer. And you'll find that there are so many people who would want to talk to you. You see, there was a time I was telling somebody that you're saying everything is okay about me. It's not about me. It's about what is within me. You see, because what is within me is what comes out. When I talk to you, you feel like, you know, you're getting something. It's not just about me. It's about what I've put in me. So that thing that I've put in me is what comes out. And whenever you listen to it, you feel like it is good. You need to listen and listen and listen. You see that. So this woman who really knows to be hygienically clean, inside, outside. Hata ukisikia unaenda kwake, unasikia kuenda. Unajua sisi ni watu tuko church wakati mwingine, we interact with different people. Kuna zile homes wakisema watu wanaenda, unasikia watu wana drag. Because they don't know what to expect when they are there. Yeah, unaweza enda. Yeah, so I'm talking about that. But their homes wakisema watu waende, people are like, we are going. You know, because the environment is so conducive for them to go. Though as Christians, we are told that that is not what we need to do. We really need to step in and help those people. And that is what basically as women, that's why most of the time you find that in every church, we have the women, you know, meetings and all that stuff to clean up on those areas, you see. So, and also as Christians, we are told that you can go to such areas and help. Because maybe what these people need only is to be told what to do. And so when you tell them what to do, it's also good to go there so that you can know that that is the situation in that place and so that you can help. So you will have so many friends if you are somebody who is hygienically clean. Yeah. So many people would want to associate with you. So many people would want to talk to you. So many people would want to listen to you. Kuna wale watu wakianzanga kuongea unasikia anaongelesha nani? You know, because ukianza tu kuongea hata kati ya watu, maneno unasema mpaka watu wanashangaa kabisa. Nani alimwambia afungue mdomo? You see. But ulitakana kufungua mdomo. It's because of what is within you, so you are not clean. Again, you know, nimesema juu hata ya watoto wako. You will raise people who are supposed to be in the community, in the society. Lakini kama wewe ni mtu mchafu, utaraise hao watu wachafu wanataka kwenda kukaa wapi? Wapi hapo pachafu penye tunataka kuweka watu wachafu. But you know, you will raise them. And when I'm talking about mchafu, hata words zile wanaata. Kuna watu tu wanakonga na watoto, akianza kuongea kila mtu ananyamaza because nao sasa tunaendaje huku? Maana watoto mmewafundisha vibaya. Wanasikia vile mnarushiana maneno. Mnaongea hata wewe mwenyewe ukianza kuongea unaongea mambo mengine ambayo haitakani kuongelewa. So the children will pick from you. And so you are raising even a generation that nobody wants to listen to or to have around them. You see. So those are some of the things we'll talk about. And again, we've just talked about this. You'll make a place for God to stay if you're hygienically clean. And I believe that is the place where kila mtu angependa kukua. Mahali penye Mungu yupo. You see. So kama wewe utakuwa hygienically clean, utafanya Mungu akae pamoja na wewe. Na akikaa pamoja na wewe, atawavuta wengi kupitia kwako. And those people will come. And once they'll come, they'll do good things there because they are learning from you. The Bible talks about us being letters that are read. So when people look at you and they see what you're doing, basically it rolls down. They'll also do what you're doing. And so we'll be having a society that is cool, is good. Everybody is there. Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I think that mmepata hizo advice. And as I sign off, I'll just leave you with a word which Jesus said. I think it's in the one of the letters, the 5 letters. The gospel.
The 4 letters, yeah.
Yeah.
They're the 4 gospels.
Where you're saying that what you take in does not defile you, but what comes out of you is what defiles you. So as we talk about women hygiene, see about to mavazi, usafi wa nje, but also what is inside you. Make sure that you are clean from inside, and obviously it will manifest outside. Thank you so much for keeping us company through the start of this program, Maisha Prime Women Talk. My name is Rida Chebet Kering. See you next time.